So this is a garage prep that was stubborn. I call it a stubborn garage prep because it wasn't backfilled properly. Then the brackets were very high. As you look, we have already snapped the chalk line. The chalk line is where the concrete level is, and it has a drain. You see this one have a drain. The drain is really very high. So usually drains are like 2.5 or 3 inch below the concrete line. So what I used to do, I use a height peg. I think I'm the only one doing this in Edmonton. We use a height peg so that it makes it easy to get the height of the concrete line when you prep it, so that everything sloped towards this drain. Since we are just two of us today, what the method I use is I take a line, I wrap it around the cover of the drain, then I put it back so that it holds it. Then we pull the string line to the concrete line on the wall. That way we are able to measure the slope of the concrete to the height of the drain. Then we kind of now set the crushed rock for the garage to be below 4 inch under that line using our height pegs. So that is the method we use to get it perfect and make sure that the concrete, when it is poured, it all slopes towards the drain. So when they use the garage in the future, every water in that garage is gonna go to the drain. But the problem with this stubborn garage, which I call it stubborn garage, is that the guy who did the bracket, was so high. It was just too high. Everything was just messed up. So I will show a video where you see this is how we put the line, and then we hit those height peg to be exactly on that line. Look at the height of that bracket. It's just too high. It comes out just close to the concrete. So how are you gonna even put the rebars? So it's just too high. This is how we set the height stick. I put this pin and make sure that I set them all at the height of the concrete. So when they spread the rock around, we just kind of we just level it up. So as you can see, it's very, very high. Look at it. It's very, very high. This thing is supposed to be buried below the concrete, so that the concrete sits on it, and its use is to protect the floor from cracking or from being affected by when the soil get frozen and get warm. It doesn't move the concrete slab of the garage. So it's just too high. I have to do something about it. What I did was, you can't take out these anchor bolts. You can't take them out. So I just simply cut them off. As you can see, my cordless grinder, I use it just to cut them off. I cut all of them and just try to, instead of digging it out and placing it, I just hit it hard with the sledgehammer to go inside, which is what I'm gonna show you. You can look, it's too high. Look at this one, it's just too high. So after I cut it, I get a sledgehammer and I just hit the thing right down. There's no need to remove it and redo it again. That costs a lot of money, time and energy. So just hit it at the top. You want to kind of hit the middle as well, because you have it's shape, like it's not just long. As you see beneath it, there is also some iron that has to balance the weight so that it can properly hold the concrete slab of the garage. So I just hit the thing down. I don't have time to screw around with this one. I just hit it down, and then later on I have to go and buy bolt. I didn't have them in my truck, so I mark the place where the bracket is, so that when we put the gravel, we can know where the brackets are. Because this thing, sometimes you come and a slinger come and throw gravel on it or sand, and you don't find the bracket. You start looking, where was the bracket? So I had to take out the screw, the nuts, cut this one as well, everything, and then I go to buy the bowls that you have to put, the new bowls that have to fit it there. So that's just what I do. I just hit it down, just hit it goes down, so it falls below the concrete slab. That is how it's supposed to be. But before I go to buy, I just kind of like measure the distance. It's 16-inch for each rod, V rod, to be placed. So I kind of measure it so that we can do multiple things. When I go to buy it, my guy at the work side is gonna just drill holes for the V rods. So I try kind of just measure it, or you have to have vertical and horizontal. So it's squared up and it reinforces the concrete slab that will be poured later on. So I kind of measure them out, make sure everything will be squared or close to square, as you can see. Pretty easy. So you mark them up. At the wall, I always try to put like 1 feet away from the wall first. The first one is 1 feet, and then I start hitting 16-inch. So by the time I came back, my guy had already received the sand and he was already doing the tampering. So, which was okay. I came back, I had to drill in new holes for the bowls. The batteries was out, my cutlass, drill new holes. Because this thing is very important. It has to hold the slab. It's like a support under. Because here during winter, the ground beneath the garage concrete slab get frozen, and in summer it gets warm up. So it's like string and expand, and this thing kind of cushion the concrete rock not to be affected by that movement. So you see, I have to put the new bolt in and just hit it right in, and then I tie it. I had to do it on all the 4. This one had the standard, like you usually have 4 brackets in each garage, and the brackets are then fitted on the foundation of the garage, because the foundation does not move during the winter and summer, since it is below 6, is anchored below 6 feet of the basement. So it's pretty solid, and it wouldn't be affected by the shrinking and expansion of the soil beneath the concrete slab. And you have to expose it. That's why you have to expose it, so that when you pour concrete kind of fill this hole that you have exposed, and increase and reinforces the strength of the garage. So we kind of level it out again, make sure our level is 4 inch below the concrete level, sloping towards the middle of the garage where you have the drain. Then we tamper the whole thing again, make it solid, well compacted. Then I have to put put a frame to block the concrete from, when you pour concrete, from going out. And then we now fit the rebar. I always fit the straight one first. We cut it, so when it's too short, we cut one in front and we put it. But first I did the line, because after you put this frame, you have to make sure it's straight. You don't want a garage not to look straight. You have to make sure it's straight. And the method we do to make sure it's straight, we just put a string line at the 2 ends, put nails there, feed the string line, and run it to the other side to make sure everything is straight. And we use a method to tie it. Make sure it's straight. That's the essence of this rope. And you can see it's not really straight, because woods are never really straight. In the middle you can see there is a gap. So what we do is we use the pegs to nail the peg there to reinforce the strength, and then we use it to adjust the height of the wood so that it is flat. If it is below, if it's down below that line, you just kind of lift it up a little bit, like this one was a little bit below. So after we nail the peg, kind of lift it up and do that. So this is a method we use. Just use a nail gun, it's faster. Lift it up to the right height. You can see it's a little bit down, so I have to lift it up so it's now level. Just nail it so it sits exactly the right position. Okay. So we cut the V-rods, the fiberglass rods. We cut them in the right sizes because it was not long enough. You want to fit the short ones that you've cut inside the hole that you have drilled. Before now, you tie them together. So everything is set, laid down properly. It all looks squared. And then I now just use the loop ties to tie them all together. Everything is good. Use the loop ties to tie them all together. And when you tie the loop ties, you kind of want to let it to face downward so that it doesn't pop out of the concrete when you pour the concrete. So we just do that on every side. We usually skip one because it's just to reinforce the strength of and everything looks good, beautiful. We're gonna do the pour tomorrow morning. So everything looks good and beautiful and clean. The prep work is done for this stubborn garage, and the brackets are all in place waiting for concrete. Another building, another garage. Keep building the Canadian dreams.